little warm here today. It's 91. Probably feels like 101. I don't know. I'm headed over to get my dad right now. We have been redoing our house a little bit, and the floor in our office needs replaced, so we're going to do that today. We're just going to replace that floor, and then we're going to get it set right back up and put the big desk in there, put the flooring back down on it. Hi. And then my son's got a pretty expensive gaming chair that he's been waiting to have put together, so I was just kind of waiting on my husband to get that done. But we're gonna set his whole thing back up for him. I'm really looking forward to that. Cleaning out the area that's been holding that desk for a while, because it's a huge desk. It's enormous. It has a side over here and then just kind of curves around. Then it has a side over here. Not only does it have just a flat desk, but it has, like, you know, a shelving thing in it. So I'm looking forward to getting that put up. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna get my dad. I'm gonna go by the store, of course, just do all my little tit for tat errands. And then my son's gonna be ecstatic when he gets to get back in his office, because it's really been inconvenient not having that. I thought we were going to get some rain today, but it hasn't happened yet. It's just windy and it's a little bit cloudy. Not too bad, but a little bit. It was way worse in dark clouds, but you know, weather's crazy nowadays. You never can tell. You can get somewhat of an idea. You know, you look on your little weather thing and see if you're going to get anything. If it's like 30% chance of rain or something, you may get a small percentage, but most likely you won't. So, and then there'll be other days it's not calling for any rain and it'll just come a damn storm. So anyways, what are you guys up to today? Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna turn it around so you guys can see. I'm going over my lake right now. Got all these clouds. It was way worse. They were like super dark. Hope you guys been enjoying your summer. Here in the part of Texas I live in, it's usually, you know, you get a lot of humidity in southeast Texas, but it hasn't been like normal summers. This year we've reached like triple digits, so it's kind of crazy how it's reached those. So if it's like 94, it'll feel like 104 outside. It's crazy. Type in where you guys are from so I know how far I'm reaching. I think it's kind of cool to see how far YouTube can reach other people from your personal area. It's kind of cool. This week's my birthday. I'm gonna have a little gathering on Saturday. Saturday's my birthday. I'm probably gonna do a live, so if you guys want to come join me, maybe get to see some crazy stuff. I'm gonna make authentic Mexican tacos, like street tacos, and my brother-in-law, my ex-brother-in-law, taught me how to make authentic Mexican salsa. I like to make it super hot, but I'm gonna have to make some extra that's not hot for everybody else. I canned some already, so I won't have to make that part of it. But the mild salsa I'll have to make. It's one of my favorite things to make, and it's super simple. I couldn't make up my mind if I wanted to like make a brisket and potato salad or some pintos and rice with that, or if I wanted to make something else. But I've just decided I'm going to do street tacos, pintos, and then I'm going to make some authentic Mexican rice. Hi. Forgive me if I don't see your responses right away. I'm trying to drive y'all, but as soon as I'm able to kind of glance over and see it, I will. And I'll respond. Oh, look, we can stop. Let's see. Oh, that's good. I like tacos. I don't really like they call Tex-Mex tacos. You know, I will eat them, but I'm not a big fan of flour tortillas. I prefer corn, and really they're just super simple. When you do the little street tacos, you pick out whatever meat you want. You know, you can have beef fajita, ground beef, grilled chicken, boiled chicken. I'm not a fan of boiled chicken, but you know, some people like it. And then you just chop up your onions and cilantro and put that on there. Of course, you got to season your meat really good. So you want to pick out your favorite seasonings for that. Then you heat your tortillas up, you know, for like 30 seconds on each side, just enough to warm them and soften them. And then you add your salsa. I mean, it don't get much simpler than that. How is it in Texas? It's hot. It's hot in Texas. Today's not been as bad as usual because we've been seeing like triple digits. And I don't know if you know anything about Texas, but Texas is pretty humid. It's not as humid as like, say, Mississippi or something like that, but it gets pretty darn humid. Sometimes it just feels like it's sucking the life right out of you. How about where you're from, wherever that may be? So I was thinking about, my dad's got this book he's gonna give me. It's for how to make certain mixed drinks, and there is a recipe in there for, I think he said it was a banana margarita maybe. But anyways, I'm curious as to how that's gonna turn out. I really want to try it. Hi. I know that it calls for rum, and I'm not really a big drinker, but occasionally I will have a drink or two. And I either like to drink wine or rum, and sometimes bourbon. Like, I like bourbon too, but I very seldom ever drink. But I thought it'd be kind of fun for my company to have something, you know, for those that like to drink. And I may even try that banana margarita. I mean, who would have thought? A banana margarita. It's kind of curious. And let's see. We've got our backyard all done up, and we've got lights put up. So my husband got them the other day, and he turned them on, and I thought it was still daylight outside. It was like after 8 o'clock, and I went outside and I saw it was just the lights on the house and on our barn, and it was like shining down on the ground, and it looked like a football field at nighttime when you go to a stadium, you know, like if you go to like a home game or something, not a big NFL stadium, but like just like a school, you know. It was really lit up pretty good. So I decided I was going to have my little birthday gathering around 7 o'clock at night, because it's so darn hot. I don't want everybody just sitting there pouring sweat and can't really enjoy themselves. So we're going to have it at 7 at night. Oh, you're from California. Cool. Yeah, thank you. It's gonna be pretty nice, I think too. It's gonna be pretty nice. I was gonna have it like around 6 o'clock, but then I went outside and I was like, oh my gosh, it's still so hot at 6 o'clock. I was like, I'm gonna push it back just a little bit. So that's what I did. We're gonna have it from like 7, maybe to like 9 o'clock. And since it's on a Saturday, nobody's got to get up and really go do anything the next day. You know, they don't have to go to work or anything. So I think it's gonna be a fun little thing. I got some pretty fun people coming, so they'll keep it lively. Yes, I have pets. I have, oh my gosh, I got so many pets, honestly. I have dogs, cats, they're, a source of food. But every once in a while, I put my animals on here. Just, I think it was one day last week, I had my little dog with me, and she was riding in the car with me, so everybody got to look at her and see her. I'm kind of dog sitting for one of my sisters that live out of the state. It's been a long dog sit too. It's only supposed to be for a little while. Now I think it's going to be about 2 years, which we've already got 1 year under our belt. So maybe next year she'll be moving back to Texas and she can get her dog. But she's a really good dog though. And then my husband, he has 2 dogs. American. Well, we have an American bulldog, and then we have a Dalmatian, which he's just a big old galoot. He seems like when he barks, he sounds like he's about ready to kill somebody, but all he'll do is just knock you down and just lick you to death. And then I have my cats. I have Maple and Ghostbuster Gravy. And Ghostbuster Gravy got his name by 2 different people. So my mom, she liked my gray cat. My cat had kittens, and she passed in May, and I decided I wasn't going to get rid of him because, she really wanted me to keep him. So, and she had named him Ghostbuster. I think because of his colors, kind of reminded her, like a ghostly color. So she called him Ghostbuster. And then my youngest son, I don't know what it is about him, but he's always naming animals after food, which is kind of funny because we had a little brown, long-haired teacup chihuahua. He also passed this year. His poor jaw just deteriorated and was hanging. It was the saddest thing I ever seen in my life, but it wasn't fixable, and so we had to have him euthanized. Unfortunately, it was terrible. But he had named him Biscuit, and he was a little love bug, and he was so sweet. Oh my goodness, he was so sweet. And then he called Ghostbuster Gravy. So I wasn't going to tell him that he couldn't call him Gravy because, well, I like my son to have his ways and little things because he's not as fortunate as your average neurotypical person. He's got, some medical conditions. So I'll let him go on and name him Gravy. Oh, I love bunnies. When I was a kid, I was sort of raised on a farm. It was just a small farm, and we also raised checker giants, we bred them, and we would sell them to people. My grandma had it like all set up and all that, because I lived with my grandma for a little while. But we had cows, goats, pigs, horses, chickens. My other grandparents, they had all those things, plus a donkey, plus guinea. I mean, I've been around a lot of animals my whole life. But one day, our dog Brutus, that's my husband's dog that I was telling y'all about, that would knock somebody down and lick them to death. He let the chickens out. Well, I had come outside, and I didn't see our chickens. They were just biddies at the time, and I didn't see them. I called my husband. Well, he didn't want me to freak out because his dog had let our little biddies out of their pen, that we had them in. And I asked him, I said, where are the chickens? And he's like, well, aren't they in their pen? I was like, no. He goes, they're not? I was like, no. And he's like, well, I don't know. So I thought, well, what the heck happened to him, And he just acted like he didn't know, even though he did, which was kind of funny later. But I was walking out to our mailbox, and we have like this long driveway to our mailbox. So I was walking out there, and I just hear a bunch of little chip, 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 chip. And I'm like, is that the chickens? And so I go hunting them down, and sure enough, they were right over there on the other side of where my husband had the boat parked at first. And well, I don't really like touching birds. They kind of scare me a little bit because I don't like to get pecked. So like house birds, like any kind of bird or any kind of fowl, really, I just don't like really touch them. But I didn't want anything to happen to the chickens, so I just sucked up my fear and grabbed them and held them as close to me as I possibly could to keep them from pecking me. They never did, though. They never did peck me, and I got them put back in. Well, since they were missing and we couldn't find them, I named them MIA and Runaway, because I thought that they were just missing in action and they ran away, so that's what we called them. Well, this year we were finally able to determine if we had hens or roosters, and we had started out with like 5 chickens, but now we only have 2. Well, we ended up having 1 hen and 1 rooster. And our little hen, she puts off the eggs. We get about 3 or 4 eggs like every day or every other day. I mean, she really gives us eggs. And we're a small family, so we don't really require a whole lot of eggs. I mean, we don't eat eggs every day, so. But they are good little eggs. But anyways, we got MIA and Runaway. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. I'm sorry. When we have our animals, that some people, they're like, oh, they're just animals. But when you have an animal that you really care about and you spend a lot of time with them, and you groom them or take them to get them groomed, or they ride with you places, they really just become part of your family. And you don't really look at them like they're just some kind of stray animal, which every time I see a stray, I always feel so bad for it. And if I had a humongous ranch with like hundreds of acres, anytime I seen a stray, I would definitely pick it up and take it home and take care of it, because I hate to see out there living a horrible, what I would assume a horrible life. So I was trying to figure out what kind of games that we could play for my birthday gathering. I can't figure it out because there's some games you're only able to have like 4 people playing or 6 people playing. Now I'm not going to have a whole bunch of people because I really don't like to have a lot of people around me all the time. But I'm going to have, let's see, 3, 4 is 8, possibly about 10 or 12 people for my little birthday gathering. Bye. I hope you have a good day. Let's see. Hide and seek. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but a lot of people that are coming, I don't know that they can really run because, well, I have them ranging anywhere from 27 up to 74, so it might be a little tough for the older people to run, including myself, because I'm not no spring chicken anymore. And sometimes when I try to get out and have fun and I bolt, every darn time I'll sprain my ankle, every darn time. Hell, sometimes I just get up and walk and my dang ankle will spring on me. wanted I wanted to play Sorry, but there only 4 people can play that. I thought about Skip-Bo. That may work for as many people as I have coming. What else? Maybe some poker. We may play some poker. I don't know. That would just make my dad and my aunt's day, and possibly my oldest son's day too, because I know he likes to. Him and my dad's been going to the casino every once in a while. Well, they've went a couple of times over the past month, so. But I don't know. I'm just at a loss for games, but I want people to have fun. I wish my pool was up and working, but it isn't, so there's that. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I still have till Saturday, so I'll figure something out. I know we'll probably go riding on the golf cart a little bit. Some may want to fish, because I live right on the water, so some may want to fish, and that'd be fine too. They'll have fun that way. We'll just have to see. I don't know. It's kind of hard to really collect my thoughts over the last few months. It's been kind of hard to even be motivated over the last few months. But I'm making it. You can't do nothing but just try to put your best foot forward and keep going on through life, which sometimes freaking sucks. But it is what it is, life happens. So I don't know if I'm going to have a birthday cake. My husband may surprise me with a birthday cake, or he may not. I'm not real big on birthday cake. I do love brownies, though. I did think about getting a tres leches cake, which is like my all-time favorite cake. I love tres leches, but sometimes I'm just cheap, and when it comes to myself, I just don't want to fork out money. So I don't think I'll be buying myself a tres leches cake, even though I really wanted one, and they're so yummy. They're not, but it's got a lot of milk in it, and it's got fruit, and it is just really, really good. Really good. So almost to my dad's place. This morning was really, really nice. We had a lot of gray cloud. I thought we were going to get some rain, and the temperature was really pleasant. So I sit outside till probably 11 o'clock or so, because it was so nice. I love being outdoors. And sometimes I'll just sit out there and oh my gosh, I'm just so miserable, but I just like being outside so much. Sometimes it's hard for me to make myself go in. But I do. I eventually go in because it's just too darn hot. But I'm really looking forward to getting my floor replaced. My youngest has been really just bitching about it until he just got tired of bitching about it. And I was like, well, my husband came home early today. I was like, let's work on that floor. Let's get Christian back in his office. Let's get his gaming computer set up. Let's get his new gaming chair put up, so he can be happy and not have things in an inconvenient place. So anyways, I'm excited about that. Well, guys, I guess I'm going to get off of here. I've been on here for a little while, and I appreciate all of you that hung out with me. And I will see y'all all later. Y'all have a good day, evening, morning, night, whatever it is for you, wherever you're hanging out with me from. Talk to y'all later. Bye.